Yo, it's one of the first videos I've made when it comes to charts in a while, but I just want to update you because back here or something, I made a video about Ethereum and my whole thought process, and I don't think you're gonna find anyone in the world that's gotten this more correct than I have. Every single movement in the past 6 months, I've gotten correct on Ethereum. Let's bring up each one. On February 3rd, I made comparisons. And it's not just saying, oh, I think this will happen. I'm going to explain my reasoning as well so that you realize it's not luck. If you keep jumping on the floor over and over and over again, what do you think happens? If you have 440 days of stop losses built up in the exact same place, you drop really hard beneath it. So here was the first bounce, 2, 3, and 4. This bounce in between here is like, actually, I think this one right here. Yeah, this is like 20%. So these are big moves, right? And then a big bounce here, and then you bounce here again, and you start grinding against it, boom, 50% fall. So February 3rd, I put this on this. You can go check this for yourself. They're clearly trying to kill it. And then I made like in this thread, I kept updating it the whole time. And I wrote this. That's even a possibility from a liquidity standpoint, by the way. Sweep 2.1k to, let's say, 1.8k, and then 4.1k plus. The incentive to go higher after sweeping 430 days of stop loss below at the equal lows is crazy. Everyone was short Ethereum because they're clueless. Then fuck the bears and get ETH to a new all-time high. This is the most bullish scenario. The move below 2.1k will be manipulation. So then I might go like, that's cool and all. But when it hit 2100 here as well, I spoke about pretty good chance that was the best long of all time, not bearish anymore. Percentage some trades here and so on, right? Where do I think Ethereum is going now? If BTC can get above 100k, I think ETH goes to 3450 to 4100 to sweep those highs. That's my personal opinion. Can I be wrong? Absolutely. 27 hour trades see on the other side of Destiny. So this is not something that I just um, started speculating on, but here's the Japanese stock market, and this is why this won't last. So I think Ethereum is going to go above 4.1k by at least 10%, 5 to 10% above it. It could get a new all-time high, but none of that is going to last because the exact same thought process that I used for Ethereum is here on the Nikkei. This low, this low, this low, and this low. These are equal lows. Here the volatility index went to 65, here it went to 60. I do believe we're going to go beneath here in the Japanese stock market, and that's where the leverage comes from, and that will send the VIX to 100 to 150 plus. Okay, I think it's my speculative guess in the next 6 to 12 months, you're gonna see this. 6 to 18 months. It's very hard to time these things, but it's more so about the structure, right? So that's regarding Ethereum. And again, as you can see, right, what you had right here, right, with these lows, these equal lows right here, that low, that low, that low, that low, and that low, and then boom, a 50% collapse. Here you only beneath these lows, which is these are the equal lows that are comparable, right? That low, that low, that low, and that low, and that low as well. Here you dropped 35% beneath it, right? So like you might think this is, omega fucking random and everything. Yeah? I don't think so. I think this makes perfect sense. But again, I don't think it's gonna last. If you wanna see my like recent trades and shit, I have a whole thread here where I'm posting like actively. I'm posting every single trade I take. I've been doing this for a while now. Here's my first one. Again, I primarily scalp, right? Here's my second one. I explain my reasoning and everything here. Here's the next one. And sometimes I turn on my streamers on and I highlighted it. I've linked votes in here and so on, right? Explaining my thought process and everything. Um, and yeah, I think you get the point. So I'm primarily doing this, right? I'm a low time frame scalper, and it's where like 90% of my trades happen, right? Trying to explain the reasoning and everything every time. I'm not giving you like trades in real time though. Why? Because again, I get in and out in a few minutes, and I'm not trying to like feed you everything, right? Like, you gotta figure out your own shit. But I'm just explaining why I take what I take and so on in this thread right here. So follow me on Twitter here if you want to. And yeah, I'm scalping a lot recently, so just keep updating these over and over and over and over. Okay. All right. That's that. Probably gonna make some videos regarding the economy later, but I'm not in the mood right now. Plus, there are so many like annoying people, and I don't want to deal with it. But anyways, I believe Ethereum will go above these highs. Might go to a new all-time high actually. But I think once you're 5 to 10% above this, so let's say between 4,300, I'm not saying it's gonna stop there, but once you get to 4,300 to 4,500, it becomes dangerous because then you've swept the highs, which is what I was initially expecting, right? And again, the issue is this, is that you have these lows here on the Japanese stock market as well. And you remember what happened in August, you remember what happened in April. You can blame this on whatever you want. It doesn't matter. The chart is telling a story, just like on Ethereum. This move shocked people. Well, this move down didn't shock me. This move up did not shock me. This move down did not shock me. This move up did not shock me. I expected every single move because of the exact same reasoning as I have for the Nikkei. Okay? So just remember that. I don't know the exact timing on this and so on. And by the way, the one asset that I'm extremely long-term bullish on is silver, right? Again, I've been bullish on this since like 17, $18 over here, and I believe this is going to 150. But ideally, right? Like, what would be the most ideal scenario? I don't have silver right now. I'm bullish on it directionally, right? But I'm trading primarily. I've got some bonds, but I would like to buy silver. I just can't do it right now. Why? Because it drops hard in recessions. But if they reject it at this high, which are equal highs, if they reject it up here again and then drop it down like 50, 60%, ideally, if they drop it down to, I don't say it's gonna happen, okay? I think going up here and then rejecting down to 14, right? Going up to $50. So like from here, let's say another, I'm not saying it's gonna happen. I'm very high time frame bullish on this, okay? But if this was to happen, this would be like the best long opportunity of all time. Then dropping like 70% or so down to $14 and then going to like 150 to 200. Actually, infinity at that point. Why? Again, I presented my arguments for why it's cheap as fuck. Here's Fibonacci just to, again, I'm not using this as a support resistance or anything, but just to put into perspective how undervalued it is against the money supply. It's only recovered 3% of the losses against the money supply from the 1980 high. And obviously, against gold, right? Getting a 3x, but getting back to the 2011 high, it's like a 6x. And yes, this is to a 3x, 200%. 100% is doubling, 200% is tripling. So I'm not wrong with the math. And then this would be like a 6x to get back to the 1980 high. So I'm very bullish on this long term. And like, I'm not saying it's gonna drop here, but like if it was to, bro, holy fuck. This is using Urban's approach, by the way, twitch.tv/SirUrbanBourbon. So I'm just saying, if it was to do this, this is not prediction. I'm not saying it's gonna happen. But if it was to do this, right, and then it drops down, like big recession here and so on, right? And then it does this. I mean, it's, I have to all in with my life savings. I might have to do some like bad things to make additional money just to buy more silver at that point. Again, silver is used in everything: cars, phones, solar panels, um, jewelry. It's money. It's to the test of time. Uh, AI is the future according to everyone. Well, silver is used in AI as well, AI technology. So just keep this in mind. Um, and regarding the stock market, what I think is gonna happen. Well, again, as you know, I was bullish like down here, 5100. Go back, watch my videos. People can say whatever they want. They're fucking stupid. Turn bearish here, turn neutral here, and then I've been neutral pretty much on the whole way up here. But I'm pointing out like divergences and shit. Like on the quarterly chart, there's like multiple drives of bearish divergence. Okay, so momentum is like cooling off, right? Here, a lower high, and a lower high again. Same thing on the monthly chart. Like, just look at the divergence, okay? High, high, higher high. High, lower high. Collapse, okay? Using Urban's approach, you sweep the low that created it, which would be here and here. You swept it here. Okay, what about right here? Here you have a high and you have a higher high. You have a high, you have a lower high. You fall beneath it and you drop down here. Here you have a high and a higher high. High, a lower high. You should drop beneath the April low and it will coincide with the Nikkei. That's my personal opinion. Again, the timing on this is harder. That's what I think. Okay? You do whatever you want. Now I'm gonna go feed some ducks. So enjoy. Take care and enjoy. Peace.